Would the finalists in Graphic Communications High School please make their way to the holding area?
Great, I'm shaking too now.
Would the finalists in Teamworks High School please make their way to the holding area to the right of the stage?
I'm here at Ace Adventure Water Park in Fayetteville, West Virginia to enjoy some swimming in the water before we head down to Atlanta in about 3 days.
I like playing video games. I like to go to church.
What's up, boyskis? Kayak with the fishing gear.
Jack, are you sure there's even any fish here?
I'll be majoring in wildlife management.
Yep, that'll work.
I'm the electrician of the team. I've been working here as an electrician and building houses for about the past year now.
Tyler,
Here, we're walking a trail to Long Point.
found a snake here.
Are we in the crack? Probably not a good idea.
No! How dare you? Yeah.
Leave a face.
They're blueberries. So, Odell hired me and Jack to help building this fort.
How'd you feel if I shook your ladder a little bit?
Right after this, we gotta go to the school and practice.
This is probably going to be the last practice before we go to Atlanta. What are we doing, Jack?
Soldering pipe. I'm mixing up my mortars.
Put the caps on for the week.
We just finished our last day of practice before nationals. You think we're ready?
Hope so.
You don't sound very sure. Very excited, but also very tired. I barely got any sleep last night.
Sorry guys, not to be cliche, but clearly this is my jam. You've got the sound of saws, the sound of nail guns, the smell of sawdust in the air. This is my home away from home.
Teams from around the country are competing in their respective skilled trades here at Skills USA National Competition in Atlanta, Georgia. Think of it as the CIF Championships, but with saws and hammers instead of footballs and track shoes.
I wish I knew about this, or even if it existed when I was younger.
These guys are competing in a category called Teamwork.
We've got construction of small houses being built in 48 hours.
Oh my, it's over the top competitive. My stress level's through the roof. And you know these kids are the same way.
This is our 3rd year at nationals, so we're a lot more comfortable this year. But I mean, it's still very nerve-wracking.
They have 24 hours to build an eco-friendly tiny home that includes electrical, plumbing, carpentry, masonry, and yeah, a whole hell of a lot of teamwork.
So you guys have been working as a team on building a small house, competing with roughly 50 other teams.
No matter how many times you do it, having to build a fairly complicated structure quickly and correctly in a small space while there's like 50 other teams doing the exact same thing and you have to be better than all of them, it's pretty stressful.
So not only are you working with a team on building, a small house, but you're competing. You're literally looking at your neighbor or your competitor, what stage of the house they're at.
These young men have competed before at Skills USA, but they've never made it to the podium. Since they're all graduating this year, it's their last chance to win a medal, and the clock is ticking.
Right after we got settled in, we had to go to a meeting room with everyone else that's competing in Teamworks. They give us the blueprints and all the papers that tell us how the demolition's gonna work, a timeline that we had to make.
We had to come up with a presentation, so we had to explain how we're gonna build this, the times that we're gonna build this, just give them an estimate on everything.
Had to organize our work site, set up the platforms where they needed to be.
And we also did an inventory count on all of our lumber, plumbing, electrical tools.
Today's game day. We're gonna get this thing started, get rolling on this project.
So when you guys start working as a team, how do you hit the project in the beginning? Do you all tackle framing, or do you all go to your individual projects?
Usually we will do anything with the floor, and we'll get him working on masonry as soon as we possibly can.
Braden's the math guy.
Yeah.
He marks out everything.
We're super excited to see how it goes this year.
And then Jack cuts it all, and then me and Tyler put it all together.
And who's yelling out the measurements?
Me. Got it. About every single measurement in the entire building.
I'm really proud of the progress, and I'm sure they're in it to win it right now.
You feel like you're doing better now than you have in the past?
A lot better.
Definitely the best we've done. Yeah.
We're more efficient. We're faster at getting everything assembled. We make less serious mistakes, and we fix our mistakes faster. And we've really found that balance of speed and quality.
Day one has gone off almost exactly as planned, thanks to the team's hard work and collaboration. Let's check in with the team about how the teamwork is really going.
Clearly, like, you were driven to come back because you've experienced this. Like, what was it like your first time, and what is it like now?
We realized how important it was the first year, but we were really just very, very nervous. We were not quite ready for a national competition.
The only thing I've seen is, or that is questionable, is the fascia board on that one before, whether or not it was supposed to go on the backside and that little short piece on the front.
I looked over the blueprints. I couldn't find anywhere where it said it would.
Once we get back to the hotel, or when I get a chance, I'll take a look at the blueprint. And
all right.
It doesn't really matter. We can't fix it now anyway, but the two pieces you put on look superb.
It's really good for training to see what you can do under the pressure, not have a lot of time, having a tight budget, but also knowing that, like, let's just say, like, you know, you've got to get this done because you've got someone moving in at a certain deadline, and they've switched gears, and, like, this is your move-in date, this is when they're coming in, you've got to be done.
I thought your brick was really, really good, but then you struggle with the roll lock, and I got to take some blame for that.
Did you see where I had to tie that one to the wall? That's...
On that blueprint, I don't understand that either. This goes back to it was something new, something you hadn't done before.
It was definitely a huge challenge, but it also really taught us how these work and allowed us to be able to do so good this year.
I think we're solidly in the top 10. You know, whether we'll go across the podium or not, hard to say.
They're doing really well. As far as progress, it looks like they're, you know, as good as anyone out here right now.
All in all, yesterday was really, really a good day. They got off to a really good start. Super proud of them.
I feel like the hardest part of under the building is making sure it doesn't fall apart, and also making sure your back doesn't break. Make sure you don't get crushed by the...
They have worked really hard, and obviously they're hoping to win or make it on the podium.
Tyler, how do you feel about your masonry?
Could have done better, but it looks pretty good.
I figured out what this is for.
Oh, that's for your pencil, isn't it?
It's a pencil holder, dog. Now I look like I know what I'm doing.
No, you don't.
What about you with your electrical? You feel like when they open that panel, everything's going to be all right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
The hardest part that we've never done is definitely the way the roof is. These are two different lengths. The walls have to be different heights. Each section has a different amount of overhang, and they all have a fascia cut, which we didn't realize till we had some of them already up. So we had to take all of them down, recut them, and put them back up.
I think we definitely have a real shot at it, at getting the podium.
Where are you guys at in completion? In completion, 80 maybe?
This is their last competition, and they're doing well.
Sometimes the blueprint's a little vague. That adds some more challenge to really get us to work together and try and figure it all out.
You guys have been here 2 other times. What are you hoping to walk away with this time?
Podium finish, at least.
Yeah, top 3.
First place would be really
so
nice.
Some type of precious metal around your neck.
And cash.
And cash.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was also an option.
They have been here 3 years in a row now, and they have done that because of their team and their coaches. Mr. Odell has brought them here every year.
Is it a lot of pressure being the captain?
Yeah.
How much more plumbing do you have?
All of it.
I left about a, 3-finger gap there.
It's not hard, it just takes time.
I have to think of what everyone's doing at the same time.
Yeah, so now his shingle joint's over here in the corner instead of right there above the window.
I gotta run a hot line to the shower, whatever this is. I gotta run, no.
If somebody's done with something, they come to me and I tell them what to do next.
And then I gotta run a cold line to here, and then to the toilet.
I check almost everything we do.
I can't tell if that upper was roughed in or the ceiling was roughed in.
Which also means when we make a mistake,
you get the blame.
Because I had it, but I was a whole 9 inches off. But it wouldn't. I don't know. Measure twice, cut once.
Right.
It's a lot of pressure on me.
We're gonna be a lot closer to the end when we finished. And I thought,
I mean, it's not always entirely my fault, but it's still, it's a lot of pressure and a lot of work.
You'll have about a 4 to 6 inch overhang on it, which is...
So Landon, once you finish, you can just help Jack, because Jack's gonna need help.
I would trim them up there.
So you're doing the zip blast now?
Yeah, I think so. It's gonna be the hardest thing to do. The stairs are the easiest thing with planning. I've got the hardest part.
I got the hardest part out of the way too. I mean, that PVC's tough, but it's done. But I can see that team just about as far as a PR.
Tyler, do you think you're gonna finish?
It's gonna look terrible. I got to tell them we need propane too. The best we have. We put it on the list, they just didn't give it to us.
Yeah, I gotta do a handrail as well. Yeah, the handrail's small. If we aren't, I will just put part of the handrail up and maybe even Frankenstein it if I have to.
It all comes down to what team works the best together to complete all those tasks and be on deadline in 48 hours.
So this is your 3rd time here. You guys hoping to win big, I'm guessing?
Here 3 years in a row now.
This is your 3rd time here.
This is our 3rd time, 3rd year in a row.
Well, I really hope we can go across that stage. That'd be really cool.
Now that the clock has run out, everyone on the floor has to stop the build, no matter where they are in the building process. The judges will have to evaluate their work, and the winners will be revealed live on the final day in front of the entire State Farm Arena, where the top 3 teams will be awarded a medal for their performance.
What was the most challenging part, you think?
Trying to figure out what to do with the sheeting on the back after we didn't have enough pieces.
Every time you took a board loose, Mr. Odell about had a heart attack.
Well, it needs to be perfect.
So who turned you on to let you know that I think you should focus on this?
Mr. Odell. He explained what skills was and all that, and for me at least, I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. I might as well try it and see what it's all like. And then our first practice was my first time hammering a nail, and I couldn't do it. None of us could. But after we did it for a while and competed, it just kind of like stuck in my head like, hey, this is fun. I want to keep doing this. I want to try and be better. And I want to keep going to these competitions and see what happens.
I hope we're going to win. I think we're going to rock across that stage.
Receiving bronze, Robert Lump from Arizona.
Have you guys feel like you're doing some of your best work by working together, or do you feel like you're still better as solo?
Together, definitely, because we make a lot of mistakes, and it's nice having 3 people to catch your mistakes before you make them.
Casey Shower from Florida. Receiving silver, Aaron Monhausen from Rhode Island. Receiving silver, Nathan Jurgens from Arkansas.
Would the finalists in Teamworks High School please make their way to the holding area to the right of the stage? West Virginia, Texas, Tennessee.
Receiving silver from West Virginia, the team of Beal, Chapman, McGraw, and Nguyen.
It doesn't feel real. Incredible.
Incredible.
I don't feel like, I don't even know how to explain it.
Second in the nation, that's great.
We put in 3 years of work. First practice, I couldn't even hammer a nail. And now here we got second place in the nation.
This team has realized their dream of getting up on the big stage and claiming victory for their state. Not only have they proven to themselves that they could crush the competition, They have laid down their blueprints for a fulfilling and lucrative career path. With a shortage of skilled construction talent and a high demand for homes to be built over the next several decades, these guys can literally write their own ticket. And being someone who has been fortunate enough to turn my passion for building things into a lifelong and successful career, I can tell you, they have an exciting future ahead.
Guys, can you believe it?
No, not at all.
I can't either. I never dreamed 3 years ago that we would be in this position. I mean, I can't express how proud of you guys I am. It's been an awesome ride, you know, and when you left, I gotta admit, I lost a tear or two, went down my cheek, but this is great. And then, you know, just getting on the stage, I think that was our goal.
Yeah.
And to get silver on top of that.
I did not expect silver. The team that got first was the one we were worrying about, and they said they thought we had them beat.
Oh, really?
Like bad.
It had to have been a couple of points, but I don't care.
Awesome job, guys. Like I say, can't say it enough. Proud of you guys. You're like my sons. You really are. It's been a phenomenal ride.
There's a lot of variability when it comes to like a slight change.
A little bit of a technical problem. We had our first battle scar.
I think we can adapt pretty well to this.
Kind of gives you less room to drive around in.
Lock in.
There's nothing that's worth more in this competition than your notebook. I don't even know what it is I'm listening to. I searched up pissed off music.
How we feeling?
The whole section's gone. Pretty confident.